What's up, guys? Welcome to Dynasty Drip today. Another great Monday to come at you guys with some Dynasty content. Today's topic is going to be 5 players I'm willing to overpay for if I'm a contender in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Now, in general, I do believe these guys are good buys as well if you're trying to maybe buy them now and sell them during the season. So I think this advice could be for more than just contenders. But in general, I wouldn't suggest buying a 30-year-old if you're a rebuilding team. It could be more of a risky maneuver. But like I said, it's possible. I do think their value could grow mid-season, and I do still think you could get a profit. If you haven't been to the channel before, please hit subscribe, like the video. Give me 30 days to make your Dynasty team better. If you learn something, stay subscribed. I appreciate you guys coming in today. As well, I'm trying out a little background for my video today. So if you guys could shoot me a comment, do you like it when I'm full screen? Do you like it with a little background kind of image as well? I'd love any sort of feedback so I can kind of just know what to give you guys content-wise. But let's get into the video today. 5 players I'm looking to buy, basically if I'm trying to win in Dynasty Fantasy Football this year. First one's going to be a wide receiver, and that's going to be Jeudy. Now, I just personally think Jeudy is a little underrated in fantasy football, especially Dynasty right now. He has an elite ceiling as he's shown in, short stretches throughout his career. Now, last year, that stretch came with Jameis Winston under the helm at quarterback. But what it seems like the talk this offseason may be is I would not be surprised to see Joe Flacco start the most games for the Browns this year, who I think would be a good quarterback for Jeudy as well. I've spoke about Cedric Tillman. I like him as an ancillary piece, but they don't really have a stud pass catcher in the room. David Njoku, probably the closest thing. So I really do think there's an opportunity for Jeudy to just take a chokehold on this wide receiver room. And why I like him in Dynasty, he might actually be the only guy on this list. Maybe there's another one, but this isn't just a contender buy. I think Jeudy's going to have a great 3-year window for your Dynasty team. I think he could see success this year. And next year, the Browns have multiple first-round picks, and I would imagine they're eyeing up a top quarterback in the draft, which should be good for Jeudy as a pass catcher. He's on a very affordable contract tied to the Browns for the next couple seasons. Now, my trade idea here, and keep in mind, just like the title of the video says, these are overpays. These are guys I'm willing to pay slightly more than market value to try and get on my team. Jeudy for Trey Harris in a mid-third. So kind of what I'm thinking here is I think Trey Harris is the example. I think kind of pick your wide receiver in the second round of Dynasty drafts right now, add a third on top next year to make it the overpay and see if you can get this deal done. If you're looking at someone who's getting rookie obsessed or they're all about gaining keep trade cut value or something, we all know those players in our leagues. I think this trade could go through. And I think if you're trying to win games for your Dynasty team this season, I think this is a move I'm making 100% of the time. Second guy we're going to talk about, the guy on the cover, Devante Adams. He is the cheapest, most elite wide receiver you can buy right now in Dynasty Fantasy Football. What I mean is I think he's the lowest of the guys I view as potential wide receiver ones for your Dynasty team. I think the Rams is an amazing landing spot for Devante Adams. They've supported 2 wide receivers multiple times with Stafford. Puka and Kupp the last 2 years basically were supported in that offense in addition to Kyren Williams being successful. So there's plenty of space. And Adams really isn't costing you that much these days. He's kind of going as a wide receiver 4 almost in Dynasty. And I think he's still going to give you 2 very good years for your Dynasty team here. Pretty similar to the Jeudy trade. I'm taking a guy with some hype going in the second round of rookie drafts in Bashal Tutin. Not a guy I don't like. I'm just saying if you're trying to win games, Devante Adams could win you games this season. I don't think Tutin wins you anything this specific year. Take Tutin, add a 3rd-round pick on him next year, and go get yourself a starting wide receiver for your Dynasty team that could give you an edge at your wide receiver 2 slot, your wide receiver 3 slot in Devante Adams. Next one, basically the running back equivalent, I think, of Devante Adams. The veteran running back going the latest, that's the cheapest that I still think could be an RB1 for your Dynasty team, and that's going to be James Conner. He is old standby in the Dynasty community, People have been buying James Conner for years now, and he just keeps producing. I like Benson, but I think it's all hands on deck for James Conner unless he gets hurt, which is always the risk with a running back. But it's priced very fairly into what you're going to pay for James Conner. I mean, he was a top 10 back basically when he played last year. He had some monster games. Now, yes, he let you down the stretch. He didn't get you into the championship game with some of those late weeks, but he got you there. And for what he's going for on the dynasty market right now, I don't think there's a cheaper buy for contenders at the running back position. James Conner, RB30 on KTC right now. Can I trade Devin Neal and Jalen Royals, two hot names, hot rookies that people are love to draft right now? Can I turn that into a starting running back for my dynasty team, though? I mean, both these guys looks like a huge overpay according to KTC. So if you have a guy that runs every trade, you send him through the KTC calculator, and you want James Conner, he might bite on this. And I think James Conner gives you a good solid year of RB1 to RB2 production for a very, very cheap price. Guys that are not going to help you win games this year. Guys that are long shots to even become a usable asset in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Something I do truthfully believe about most third-round picks and later. They're fun, they're exciting to take, but in the end, the hit rate on these guys is not very high. And if you're trying to win games, usually it's worth trading them to get guys that are going to be elite assets for you, even in a short window of time. So now we're going to cover a quarterback. This one's going to be more of just a swap, but I think Baker Mayfield, someone I've talked about multiple times on the channel this offseason, is one of the best contender buys for quarterback around. Basically, you can swap some of these younger, more exciting guys to tier up for Baker in a redraft, 2 to 3 window sense. And Baker has so many weapons in that offense that I don't really see him slowing down. Mike Evans is still there. Chris Godwin's coming back. Emeka Buka got signed as a rookie this year. Jalen McMillan's the 4. Cade Otton, Bucky Irving. There are a lot of weapons on this offense, and Baker showed he has top QB upside last year, and I don't really see why we wouldn't bet on him at the price he's going right now in Dynasty League. So the example I'm going to use today is overpaying by paying QB 14 JJ McCarthy for QB 17 Baker Mayfield. But I think any sort of young QB in this tier, if you're a contender, make this trade. JJ McCarthy, Penix, Cam Ward. These are younger guys in this tier that a rebuilding team may be prone to move Baker Mayfield for because they see it as a bigger window for their player. But for you, Baker Mayfield's not going anywhere over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And he's going to score more points in basically all of these seasons unless McCarthy or Penix absolutely takes off, which is a risk. But Baker Mayfield's the safer asset. And the fact that you can get him for just a simple QB swap, I think is something every contending dynasty team should do if you're trying to upgrade your QB2 from a JJ McCarthy or a Michael Penix. Now, last name for the video, potentially one of the biggest difference makers, especially if you play in a dynasty tight end premium league, George Kittle. He is going to be an elite tight end. He has been an elite tight end, especially with Travis Kelce falling off. Really, Kittle is the old guard of that top 5 tight end mold that's still left and being able to be acquired. I mean, yes, it'd be awesome to add Brock Bowers, but you aren't adding Brock Bowers for the price that you can pay for George Kittle. And Kittle brings you top 3 tight end upside. And what I like about George Kittle is that not only he brings season-long upside, just as he's going to finish as an elite tight end. He's so good after the catch. But he brings week-to-week upside, meaning there are weeks where George Kittle could win you your week at tight end. You can't really say the same for most tight ends, even for some of the mid-tier tight end ones who really are just more of an average points per game kind of stud. But Kittle has that upside that he can drop 30 bombs for your dynasty team, especially in a tight end premium league. So for me, George Kittle, I'm saying 27 first. I'd pay a late 26 first in a tight end premium league. That is what I'm referring to here. I think I would maybe pay slightly less, but I'd still even consider a late first if you're a tight end away from being one of the top 2-3 teams in your league. What I like to say is if you can compete for a bye, you need to be going for it in your dynasty league. If you're stuck in the middle, I understand not trading for George Kittle. But if your team's competing for a bye at the end of the season, George Kittle could be that 3 to 5 points a week difference that really puts you over the edge. But thank you guys for joining Dynasty Drip today for some contender overpays. This is one of my favorite topics. I think it's an underdone topic in the Dynasty world because so many people are trying to win trades that sometimes it's just about winning the trade for your own team, which could be an overpay. If you liked any of these trades today, please hit subscribe. We are grinding to get to 1,000 subs. We're almost at 800. Thank you guys for that. Keep coming back to the videos. I'll catch you more next week on my channel. Thank you guys.